up for you?
They get the big money from our sponsors and registration. They don't call it Joseph, they call it but then like so the essentials might be that way. Is it just you today? Spike price is just like spike price. The word essential might be their word for, they didn't call it essential. Yeah, that would be or that. But how do you
Nice to see you again.
Yes, sir.
Alright, hey, buenas.
There's a sweater mañana.
Hello, good evening. I know I usually start very punctual. We're waiting for the vice chair. She's on traffic on her way here. Once she arrives, we will proceed. Okay? We do have a quorum, just so you know, and we'll be out of here by hopefully 6 o'clock. That's the goal. Be productive and go home.
There you go. I'm in the right meeting. I knew I was in the right meeting.
That was your walking entrance, man.
There you go. That was your call to order.
What are you listening to?
Good job, iLearn. All right, when you come to Agate, we're gonna have the fireworks. Huh? Yeah, okay. That's how we're doing this. Okay. I love the inclusiveness. Yes, we do. Yeah, no, that's a snap. It's a snap. Bike is
Okay. Alfred, good evening. Thank you for all being here. We're going to call the meeting to order. Kelly, please take the time for the meeting to call to order. Okay, so we do have a quorum, just for the record. We are calling, please call attendance. This one. Present. Present. Rosanna? Present. Miss Rosanna, for the record? Okay. Thank you. Okay, moving right along. We'd like to go ahead and go into our, we want to thank everyone for being here, because I know everyone's busy. We're going to make this very quick, you know, the usual 1 hour, get down to business, and we'll move right along. For new business, because all of our old business has been completed, we've done everything under old business, we are cleared. So today, our first business is to vote on the petition of iLearn Academy Charter School for another 6 years. Okay, we had a public hearing. We met all the mandates and requirements under the law for the council, and we've had positive remarks and comments. There were no negative feedbacks with regards to the renewal of iLearn Charter School. So with that, council members, does anyone like to make a motion on this?
I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and renew.
Motion was made by Mr. Camacho. The motion was to renew the iLearn Charter School for 6 years. The motion was to renew iLearn Charter School for another 6 years. That's a motion made from Mr. Camacho. Would you like to second that motion? Okay, that is seconded by Ms. Rosanna. Okay, move to discuss. Council members, do you like to have anything that you'd like to discuss? Okay. Okay. Did you bring up for the record? Yes. Okay, so the comment was from Ms. Rosanna, giving praise to iLearn, to the faculty, staff, everyone on board with regards to your continued 6 years. Okay, that's for the record. And we'll go right along. So can we move for the vote? For all those that are in support for iLearn, a charter school, to be renewed for another 6 years, please raise your hand. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So motion passed. Thank you. iLearn, congratulations. Okay. Congratulations on behalf of the council member, and we also have Ms. Rosanna Vazquez and the vice chair as well. Thank you, Rosanna. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. So with that, we're going to go move right along. I want to say congratulations. Would you guys like to say anything, please, on behalf of iLearn? I'll give you a minute.
Just want to thank the council and our fellow charter school members for your support and your guidance and just having your trust in us, and for the island of Guam as well in the legislature. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we're going on to the second new business, which is, the annual report. It's already September, and every year we request, and we're giving a deadline of October 24th. We have to receive it, Ms. Philly has to receive it, and I have to sign off on it because it goes, copy goes to the governor's office, goes to the legislature, the speaker, and the chair on education. All the requirements under the law, we comply with it. So please don't tell Ms. Philly, because I jump on her, I'm very firm about this, that on the 25th, I don't want you to say, Ms. Philly, wait until tomorrow, because I've already instructed her by 4 o'clock on the 24th, everything has to be transmitted and forwarded to these different organizations with regards to the requirement and the mandate of our charter of the council, okay? Please, this is the one way. I've already gone with our chair in education, and I've expressed that next year, this coming fiscal year, we're not settling for 7-8 for the record. We've been very kind. We've been working within our resources. I said we're going to demand for anything over 8.3. Okay? That's 8,300. We're not going below that. We've cooperated and you've earned it, okay, for each per student pupil. So just know this, that in order for us to get what we need to comply, okay? So we need to do our part, just for the record, okay? So please cooperate. This is October 24th. Everyone needs to turn it to Ms. Felly no later than 12 noon, because it has to be out by 4 p.m., okay? Any questions with regards to that? Thank you. The next is with regards to the budget. The budget FY 2025-2026. Our budget remains at 7.8, but I am requesting from the legislature, they seem to be very cooperative, to give us our supplemental budget, and I requested also that they introduce a bill, which I'm getting support from the senators, to give us our 1.2 supplemental and give it to the council and have us, whatever school needs it. Now, let's say Career Tech, they need 20 more students, and we're going to give them the amount of that because it's needed. That's an example. And it allows us to maneuver around instead of waiting or having you guys work within your means. So I am working this out. Just know this, okay? I am working this out, and it looks like it's going to work out. But yes, there is a supplemental that I fought for to keep and remain, and we were given a supplemental last year. So with that said, that supplemental will be given to us because we remain the same. So we have a 1.2 million supplemental, and that the council is not going to go traveling. You know, that's not it. We're going to give it to the charters that need it, okay? And so, and that's a fair share to say that. Thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you. Okay, so the next we have is on anything with regards to the budget. Okay. Next on the agenda is CFA school report status for school year 2025-2026. Can we have someone from CFA please stand up, and I'll give you 5 minutes to give a report on regards to CFA.
iLearn, did they pick their song? Did you already put their song?
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair and Charter Council members. In keeping with our commitment to transparency and accountability, I am pleased to present this current status report for CFA Learning Academy as requested by the Charter Council. This reflects the progress and developments across key areas of operation. Facilities, CFA is currently and temporarily housed at Guam Community College, a campus for a memorandum of understanding. We currently occupy 10 classrooms. This arrangement is mutually beneficial, offering CFA students exposure to collegiate environment while supporting GCC and CFA's educational mission. Enrollment, we stand at 310 as of September 4. We anticipate increased enrollment once we secure a long-term facility. Notably, a number of students who previously transferred to other schools are now requesting to re-enroll with CFA, which reflects a good confidence in our program. For our academic programs as a STEAM-focused institution, CFA has adopted the Pearson Navi assessment tool and amplified curriculum, which we use for science, ELA, social studies, and so forth, and it aligns with Common Core standards as well as the next-gen science standards. We're also strengthening our robotics program in our capacity as the regional partner for First Lego League. We are preparing to host an island-wide FLL competition on June 2026.
Any questions so far?
Facilities update. The unlawful detainer case that we've been going through for the past year and a half by our previous landlord has been dismissed for the second time. And it is important to note that CFA has no outstanding financial obligations to its former landlord. That is our position, and that's how it's going to be. Now, whether they take it and do whatever they want, we're ready and prepared to be able to defend and to act upon it. CFA officially vacated the Eagle facility effective June 1st and subsequently secured a temporary satellite office at Tremont Sands Plaza. All DOE owned permitting boards and assets were successfully removed from the Eagle facility. Through the MOU with GCC, this partnership is proving highly beneficial to both institutions. Under your watch, Madam Chair, this historic milestone for the first and only charter school to link directly with an Institute of Higher Learning. This has been done in your watch. Thank you for your guidance. Discussions are ongoing to secure front office space and potential location of additional classrooms there. Please note that the agreement with GCC is temporary as we continue to pursue the procurement process for a permanent long-term facility.
For the future outlook of CFA, we are working on programs to further enrich student experiences by providing CTE exposure to college level and opportunities through the GCC partnership. Enrollment growth is anticipated once CFA establishes a long-term facility. The Executive Office continues to pursue strategic partnerships and opportunities that will expand academic, cultural, and career pathways for our students. For our Business and Accounting report, the fiscal year 2023 audit is nearing completion, and we are working closely with EY to finalize the report very soon. Immediately following the completion, the fiscal year 2024 audit process will commence to ensure compliance and timeliness in our financial reporting obligations. So CFA remains steadfast in its mission to provide a high-quality, STEAM-focused education for our students while navigating the challenges of facility procurement and compliance. We are confident that our current trajectory, anchored by strong academic programming, growing partnerships, and financial accountability, positions SIFA for continued success and sustainability.
We thank the Charter School Council for the continued guidance and support as we advance our mission for the benefit of our students and the broader Guam community. If I may add also, Madam Chair, this was a really tough year and a half. And again, we'd like to thank God for His guidance and His strength, and of course to all of you for your prayers and support, encouragement through text. We really, 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 dearly appreciate that. And I'm a little nervous here, so please, this is coming from me. So again, thank you very much, Madam Chair and Council, for your guidance. We really, really took that to heart. And it sustained us. I know it was really tough, but we, like you said, pushed through it, and we did. Everything that was promised on the dates that were accomplished were fulfilled. So again, we're moving forward, we're keeping that. And again, this is a celebration for iLearn. Thank God for what you guys are doing. Everybody emulates what you guys are really looking to set that bar. And for those who will continue to strive towards that, keep up the good work. And for those who, and again, I say this in love, those who did not support us and who even wished us ill will and failure, God bless you, and I hope that you guys never have to face that kind of situation. And so again, I just say that out of love, and again, we'll be there as a family to support each other. All right? Thank you.
I do have one question for SIFA. Your contract, your temporary contract with GCC, how long is that for?
For the record, it will be until the 31st of December. And if needed, depending on how the procurement process goes forward, it will be extended on a month-to-month basis. And GCC has allowed us to put that as a clause in the contract.
So I just want to be safe, so we don't have any last-minute situations. Please start, if your goal or your option is to look for other places, or, okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to make sure that you're on top of this. Thank you. Congratulations, SIFA. It was tough. I was not very nice, but, it worked out, right? So at the end of the day, we found a solution, it was resolved, and it was accomplished. Thank you. Okay, so we're moving right along. Just so for the record too, WASP accredited. SIFA, congratulations. Your certificate is through June 30th, 2031. Congratulations to SIFA. Okay, the next on our agenda is proper protocol. Okay, so this is not going to be a shift blame. I'm not into that kind of stuff. We're going to work together. All 7 charter schools. This is how the chair on education, Mr. Vincent Ora, works. He wants everything to go through the council. And if you've got a concern or your problem, you don't go to another senator. Because he doesn't want to be the last to know if he's the chair on education. Rightfully so. I, as the council, I don't want the governor calling me up, and I don't know if another school went up there and went beyond the council. It's not about control, it's about proper protocol and respect. And so he's made it very clear that all he's asking is for common courtesy, because when he's in session, believe me, he calls me and he's like, okay, Madam Chair, so-and-so, so-and-so, I wasn't aware. Okay, well, this is what's going on. And so he's made it very clear from his perspective. He's in the military, so he believes in chain of command, he believes in the process, and so him being the chair, I'm going to honor that, okay? So I'm gonna request very firmly with each 7 charter schools that it be known for the record, and I did tell him it was gonna be stated today, that if you have any concerns, whether it be budget, whether it be anything, bring it to the council. Then we will address it, because I think you know that the council has addressed every concern you've had, or we try to. We bring it before, and we put it on the agenda, we discuss it, and we move forward. Okay, so this needs to be noted. And don't go to another set. I'm saying you're entitled to do that, but if it's referred in reference to the charter, then please let us know, because he wants to be the first to know as the freshman senator on education. Okay, so we're going to respect that request from him. Okay, the public voted for him. He deserves that respect. Okay, any concerns with regards to that? If you don't like chain of command, you're in the wrong place. I have no problem putting you on probation. That's not a threat. Okay, I don't. When Philly calls you, I need to say this. I don't bother you just to bother you. When the governor's office calls me, they're my boss, I give. And it's transparency. I'm about transparency. I'm about open government law. There's nothing for me to hide. But when we have to wait, and I'm bugging her, and I'm like, Philly, where is it? Because I have the governor's office calling me, and then I have the, chair on education calling me. This is why I bug her. And I don't mean to, but we need to give them what they need. Because when it comes time to budget, they give us what we ask for. It's just how the cookie crumbles. And it needs to be said. So I know you're very busy. You don't see us going there micromanaging you. I don't like that. That's not my style. I give it to you, the professionals, to do your amazing job. And you do each an amazing job. What may work for CIFA may not work for Career Tech. You each have your own specialty and amazing work that you do for the students. All we ask is, when we ask you for documentation stats, give it to us, okay? And when we give you a deadline, I know sometimes the deadline is 3 hours from today, but they only called me that minute. So, urgency, when I say urgency, I mean it's an urgent matter, okay? So, other than that, we don't bug you, okay? So please remember that proper protocol, okay? It's noted for the record, okay? Thank you. Okay. Council members, do you have any concerns? Okay, so I conducted a BTEC site visit. It was amazing. I cried. I was emotional. It was an amazing visit. It was far more than I expected. I need to say this. So can BTEC stand up and get applaud? All BTEC? They did an amazing job. We got there, not what I expected. First of all, if you've been to San Vicente is a very old school. They did an amazing job keeping it clean, well maintained. I mean this literally. I said this to them, I could lick the floor that I walk in. That's how clean it was. It was so clean. Everyone was all in sync. You could see it. Hearing from the students. I didn't want to hear from the faculty. The students is what got me choked up. Talking about some students came from Father Duane's, and because times are hard, they couldn't afford to put 2 of their kids' sons in Father Duane's, a sophomore and freshman. And so the parents put them there, and in the beginning they didn't want to be there. They ended up loving the school more, and they said they wouldn't trade it for the world if they were to go back to Father Duane's. And they have special needs kids. I was amazed by this. So the team there, they're doing an excellent job. They have recliners. I know it sounds petty, but it's important, right? When your environment is great, the kids want to learn, right? It's just like a home full of positive energy. Parents are very, very involved with the kids. The kids turn out great, right? It's the same. That's the way I projected BTEC. The kids had the computer. One was on the recliner, the other was in another seat. They were all in the learning environment, very, very relaxed. It was amazing with that set. And then, they kind of shared a lot of things. Mr. Sablan, Mr. Dylan Sablan, I'll give you 2 minutes to speak on how it went. Would you like? Please come forward.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting to talk, but I appreciate the opportunity. All of you are welcome, not just Ms. Angie here, everybody on the board, our colleagues from all of the other charter schools are welcome to come and see what both BTAX and Harao are doing on the old San Vicente campus. There's positivity on both sides. The students, the parents, we had a great PTO meeting yesterday with our chair, and it's just a lot of progress that we've made. We've more than doubled our enrollment since we first started. We went from starting with 58, 62 students to over 170 now.
As of today?
As of today, 175. And it's still incoming. You know, there's all this talk with BTAX throughout the whole community. And like I said, when you came and visited, there's a huge, huge push, not just from us, but from our parents to open a middle school.
I saw that.
Yes, so just want to put that out there because I'm going to communicate what our community is pushing for, and we're really excited to keep on doing all of the great things. And I have a few members of our excellent team over here, Mr. Guerrero, Ms. Justine Flores, Ms. Asanova, a few of our amazing students who actually run our school uniforms and all of our school merchandise. Jomar, Zariah, Brilene is somewhere over here. And so please, yeah, you students, these guys make it happen all the time, every day. And so we're just really pleased to have them, and we're doing good things. And I think you saw that, and everybody else is welcome and invited to come see it too.
Thank you. Thank you. With that, I'd like to acknowledge, because they also had a Teacher of the Year. So we'd like to give her props, her day, her flowers. Give her her flowers today. Justine Rodriguez Flores, please stand up. She's a teacher. She teaches math and business. She was chosen by teachers, the admin, and the board. Would you like to say something? Don't be shy. Congratulations.
Thank you. I really didn't do everything I did to get acknowledged for this. It's really just doing anything to help our school grow. So I was so honored to be chosen to get to go to the Philippines, and everything was paid for. It was just so fun. So honored to be part of the best.
Thank you. Congratulations. Okay. So before we adjourn, I wanted to mention we're going to give the floor to Mr. Will Castro. Mr. Castro, please come forward, and I'll give you 5 minutes to go ahead and do your presentation. Whatever.
5 minutes, we're out.
Ms. Vincent, and I'm sure members of the council, Ihilo and Honorable Ricky, and members here, Christina Enegno, Husibo Castrozo, Principal, he's a Hagat, Career Tech. I asked for some of the time to address the council. It couldn't be more timely because the issue of protocol was raised. Oh, yeah, I've seen. I was standing, forgive me. You can't see me, I'll try to speak up. This is as good as it gets. Madam Chair, I've been in communication with various members of one or more charter schools about policy issues. Not just concerns, but opportunities. And I'll go ahead and bullet point those. And at the end of this conversation, I hope that you would consider establishing working committees, or at least allowing us to organize ourselves and then bring something forward. I think we're missing out on a lot of opportunity. We've missed out on a lot of opportunity, and we're actually going through a lot of challenges that are policy rooted. I'll give you a few examples. So the conversation of a state education agency and a local education agency, that dynamic presents many challenges for us in the charter system. If you follow the national policy and the charter school opportunity bill that's before the Congress that's going to advance to the full House for a vote, we can't apply directly for those. We have to go through the state education agency, in this case Guam DOE. There are mechanisms. I happen to have been in DC with the delegation that went. That includes the good chairman himself. I'll talk to him about that, Madam Chair. I'm going to tell him I try not to pass the same ideas to my party, Tony Ada. I'll run it by him even as we're driving. But you know, the truth being, we were before the U.S. Department of Education Special Ed Deputy Secretary, and they informed us that there are 4 ways to apply for these types of programs. One is the SEA, One is to apply each of us to be recognized as local education agencies directly, which we are not, for a local charter school management organization, and there's another mechanism and so forth. Well, that's a major problem for us because we can't avail of these funds, the CSP, right? It's a $60 million increase from last appropriation. The total appropriation is about $500 million for the country, which includes the territories. We see that we are subrecipients of federal monies that come to Guam by way of the consolidated grant. I even have some concerns as a former Federal Programs Division Program Coordinator, Chief Planner, and Associate Superintendent for the Department of Education. I can tell you how that money is disproportionately applied to favor this SEA, in this case DOE. Now, I love DOE teachers. I think they're doing a great job for what they have. That this is not about DOE. This is about career tech and other charters who are trying to make it when we're funded at less than 60% per capita compared to the GDOE appropriation. I would know. Many of you would know. I think I have 3 minutes, so I'll try to speed through this. On a local budget level, Madam Chair, it's really ironic. I mean, I don't want to debate the issue, but DOE got a $10 million increase, although they said they're going to keep the status quo in the legislature for organic growth due to 2 things, increments and retirement contributions. I don't know about you, but my team organically grows too because I give them raises. I give them opportunity to earn extra income. So everybody has organic growth. I don't know why we weren't included in that conversation, and I pray that this council articulates our position because I have a lot of organic growth, and I just heard from another charter that they too have grown. I want to also note for the record that many of us are not aware that there are line item appropriations for facilities that have been a part of the historical legislative record. We just don't factor those in to the per capita. There are many. The bonds that built the 7 new schools, I was the chief planner at the time, separate and apart from the appropriation. Now, the challenge from a policy perspective is going to be that the local law precludes us from including any kind of appropriation to long-term indenture for CIP, long-term capital improvement projects, like a building such as this. But that's not what I'm asking for. I like my $417 per student. If you took the 6 or 13 million, whatever, however you want to cut that up, like lease money that goes to DOE, they didn't factor that into our per capita. You know what I can do with $417 per kid? I can refurbish my entire facility. It's probably as old as one of the older schools here. So that's one. SPED. It's another policy issue. Special education is a case in point that's a thorn in my side because I have a deaf and hard of hearing academy, right? And we have a hard time recruiting. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. They have a hard time recruiting ASL interpreters because their budget is fixed. Their published classified positions are fixed rate. Well, if there are only 10 on the island and you need 20, the market will command a higher price point. You know what other jurisdictions do in the United States that I learned from USDOE and in a graduate program I'm in? They invoice the SEA directly. What that means is I hire people, I invoice the state education agency, DOE, and they take from their spent money and they give us that cut. That's legal, it's historical, it's precedent. This is not new, I didn't make this up. So what I'm saying is, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to get with the program so we can get our sped monies. And I'll give you another one. Transportation. My sped kids, I'm not talking about coming to school and leaving school. My sped kids go every Friday. I'm talking about my deaf, hard of hearing kids. Every Friday on a field trip at our own expense. And we have many other needs. And I'll move on because I'm almost out of time. I'd like to put for the record, maulit naman gaya siya ki eskwela ng Chief Hurrah Academy. I'd like for us to consider to put it on their table because they're not thinking this way that I'm aware of. Athletics in terms of traditional sports, slinging, and forgive me, we happen to be on the beach, but fishing. Why couldn't fishing be funded for competitive sport among local high schools? Someone just said culture. The whole travel industry is in shock. It's not shock. They're just finally reading reports that authentic experience, which is the Somoro indigenous experience, is central to the travel industry here. Well, let's try to help them out with that and have slinging and fishing funded by interscholastic sports programs as well. No? I'll give you a couple more and then I'll stop. Finance and operations, I'd like to talk to my colleagues who are bigger than we are so that we can have collective purchase agreements, whether it's through an MOU or some other mechanism that you identify. I can go on about SPED, the SEA, and other opportunities for us. What I'm petitioning you to consider, Madam Chair, members of the council, is to think of a way you would like us to proceed. As an aside, just as tongue-in-cheek, tingnan mo to na, haget mo nga ma-offline na. Because the crowd's walking, I wish we could lick the floor down there, we'll take the crown, we'll cook it for you, and you eat the palm down in the pocket. But please come down again to Agate. Oh, she's from, okay, so I'm preaching to the choir. But on a serious note, Madam Chair, those are opportunities that are well into the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars that we can equally compete for. Again, I want to repeat for the record that the SCA discussion I'm having is not about us being SCA, it's about possibly extracting it from DOE so we can equally compete for those monies. DOE is not the inherent, by God, virtuous receiver of these monies. It's a standard practice that has never been challenged, and we can change that. The rule of law can change that. I just want to have a fair and equitable opportunity to petition for those funds as well. Okay, thank you. Appreciate your
I
time.
have a question for you, Mr. Will. You mentioned special education. Have you requested from the administrator or the Division of Special Ed, Mr. Mabauta, in regards to funding with regards to the students that you cater to?
The short answer is yes. If you want me to elaborate, I'll probably need another.
I need that because I wrote that down because I do know.
The short answer is yes, and I'll give you the nice, first of all, Mr. Mabauta is a personal friend. He's a consummate professional. But he did say for the record in front of my colleagues and his that their hands are tied. I gave you the example of hiring ASL interpreters that goes through HR. That's not a SPED function. It goes to HR, but it's funded by SPED. Well, I can't help it if they can't recruit. That just blows my mind. I got to rely on you to talk to that person, to get that person to hire somebody for my kids. And what about adjusting the rate? Where there's so many legal mechanisms in the government that you can hire above step. Is anybody doing that for me? For my kids? I am their guardian, their legal guardian when they're in my care. The short answer is yes, on many levels. When I was at US DOE, the response I got from the department is, well, refrain, because you're incommunicado with their oversight. I was in the seat at the table with the oversight program officer, and he's the one who said, you have these 4 channels. Don't wait for DOE. Go after it using these 4 channels. If the SCA won't do it yourself. The easy fix, I'll give you an easy fix by legislation, and notify my good friend, the chairman on education, that I'd be happy to write the 5-sentence legislation that recognizes each of us as an LEA, a local education agency, for the purposes of federal funded opportunities, especially when it relates to SPED. And put it so na ito sa na na holong the application. All right, and if it works, then good. If it doesn't, we'll try another mechanism.
Okay, one more question.
Okay, you got it.
Because I wrote these things down. The
Thank
CIP bond. Okay, so with the CIP bond, I'm very familiar with that. They were given to DOE. You were stating that we can be allocated that amount.
Now, I think legally you can, no, I'm not saying not that amount. I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. You got a house, you took out $1,000 to improve this house.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a teacher and you have this, you worked in this house, you're at one teacher house. Well, I got a house, and you didn't factor that 1,000 as part of my per capita. Why? What makes you different than me? Doesn't have to be the same mechanism. I don't need a bond. I prefer cash. I don't need to go to the bond market. I'm too small. How about the lease? The government is spending money to put the central offices up there and other things. I'll leave them off the record. Just because you choose a lease, you didn't factor, not you. They didn't factor that into my per capita. I did the math, but I'm not a rocket scientist. Maybe I'll get my colleagues to help me with the math. What I do know is common sense. It's well over $400 per capita per student. If you took the same amount, disaggregated, like you do the per capita when you take the 265 that they got, they didn't add the sublease, this lease, that lease, the bond for another 40 years that they're about to refinance. The 7 new schools, yung hasot na tempo, itempo ko, etso, umana apreba legislator, ay ti senador, then gig senador, po, bisa on with the like ilay. If I was a sitting senator, and forgive me, this is not a pitch because I'm not running, not today, but if I was to run, that's one of the first pieces I would change. And yes, there is an interest, and it's not a conflict. It's a harmony of interest. Let us have fair and equal opportunity to compete. I will never advocate for parity, not dollar for dollar, because the state has a greater moral role, in my opinion. But at least 70%, 80%, hami pa ako 60, minayan. Right? Minayan. 60% of the local appropriation. So I'm not upset with anyone in particular. I'm just fired up about the opportunity to get more for my kids.
Thank you. I'm gonna look into the CIP bond, because if there's money there for the schools and the facilities, for the charters, we're gonna utilize it. Thank you. Noted. Thank you. Any questions in regards to Mr. Castro's presentation? Okay. I'm moving right along. So what we're going to do now, before we close our meeting, is I'm going to request that we're going to go into executive session. Okay, so what that means, if you are not familiar, is that Ms. Felly's going to ask you to step out the door. It's going to take 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to ask everyone to come back in, and then we will adjourn the meeting. Nobody leaves. Okay? So can we ask you to step outside for a good 5 minutes, and Ms. Felly will call you in once we're done. If you can shut that off, please, and Ms. Felly will take notes. Thank you.
Did you want to mute it or did you want to shut it off?
Shut it off. And then we'll open again later. Just short one.